Hello, hello,
Hello, lovers and friends.
listeners and viewers.
I'm here with the beautiful Lilia.
Pronouns?
Pronouns?
Yeah.
What are your pronouns?
No, you're meant to say my pronouns, aren't you?
Right.
No, they. What
Yeah,
are you
I
doing?
know. You told me she,
No,
they.
when in our conversation, I was saying that I keep the she for people to stop bugging me, but I prefer they.
Oh, I thought you went with both.
No, the she is just for so that people just don't bug me.
Okay, I feel like we have to keep this in.
What? This bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people don't bug you? What do you mean people don't bug you?
Because where I am quite like, I do look very feminine and very feminized. Feminized. Like people perceive me as she and da 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 da, and trying to explain that I can be non-binary without necessarily being androgynous is a bit of a headache to people who are not woke.
So you prefer? So you prefer they? I thought that she
they.
was part of the identity.
Nah.
Is there a gender neutral way of saying auntie and uncle? Capturing that relation.
I'm not sure, but I know that nibbling is for nephew and niece as a gender neutral term.
Nibbling.
I don't know what
I've
it is
never
actually.
heard that term before. Nibbling.
But then it's a bit like I don't mind you calling me your sister because I'm your sister. That kind of thing.
I feel like there's a whole world that I have to learn about. A whole new world.
A whole new world.
So why is sister acceptable?
Huh? Because I'm your sister. This is the relationship that me and you have. I'm your sister. You're my sister. And I'm here with the peculiar and wonderful, extraordinaire, visionary Towa. She, they.
Keep the nice words coming.
Shall send you a love letter with four-page love letter.
Yeah, before the new year begins.
How many days is that?
I think 5 days or something, or a week or something.
Blimey. Have you got any like New Year resolutions?
My New Year's resolutions, yeah, I'd like to be more fabulous in 2022.
Love that.
Push more boundaries within my abilities.
Within self or externally?
External.
Do you push boundaries within self?
Yeah.
In what
I
ways?
think I used to more. Push the boundaries into what I perceive myself to be, who I think I am. I think I push the boundaries in the sense that I don't limit who I think I am or what I believe I am. So it means I'm allow myself to be boundless. So there's no boundaries in my sense of self, and that means that I don't have an idea of what my thoughts and opinions are. I allow myself to change without being harsh on myself.
I love that.
And change my mind, change my opinion.
You're a bit like water.
Yeah.
I've really been fascinated with like water and what water means and what water does and how water exists.
What about water's relationship to oil?
Well, the fact that it doesn't mix. Like, to be honest, I haven't even got to that far. I haven't got to the relationship with water to other things, but
let's talk about it. Oil and water.
I guess not everything you mix with.
Yeah.
So then it just comes to the idea that sometimes when doors don't open, don't force it because it's just not going to mix. When situations don't work out the way that you think that they should have worked out, don't force it.
Don't force it. Leave it at that.
And also the thing that contradictions can exist in one place, you know? So, you know when you put water in like in a cylinder and then the oil rises to the top?
Yeah. Do you think you and I are like oil and water?
What, we don't mix?
Yeah, I guess we clash at every corner.
I don't think like water and oil, because I think that there's times when we do mix and we do mix quite well. Chalk and cheese? No, I just wanted to say that. I just want to say that.
I feel like I would notice things about you and what gets you aggravated and stuff. And certain things, you respond in a certain way which is like, I think outside of the work you've done.
How do you mean?
Now
I'm
do
intrigued.
you get so to be honest, this time not so much as in the past, but
In the past, I used to get so.
like, why do you react to certain things in certain ways? Like if someone makes a comment about something or tells you to do something, or like,
Give me an example, because you it's very abstract. I don't really know what you're referring to.
like okay, like with the dishes or something, you just snap into something and go, I will, or something, or
What if
all
someone
right.
tells them? If someone tells me to,
Yeah, like you snap into something that's doesn't seem like the person you're trying to be.
I don't understand. So if someone says to me, "Do the dishes," and then I'll snap and be like, "I will."
Yeah, or not as much as so this time. Or if someone makes an observation about something you should have done or suggests something you
Because
should do.
a lot of times I know that I need to do this thing, and I just need to get into the space of doing it.
Yeah, but why do you feel like you have to react like that if that's the truth for you?
Because it's frustrating. Sometimes it's very frustrating, because a lot of times people comment on things that are very obvious, and like this captain obvious. And but then also in learning about like ADHD and stuff like that, and how my brain works, I'm starting to understand, because a lot of times I would really beat myself up about my inability to get things done. Um, and so like I know I'm gonna do the dishes. I know mentally that I'm going to do it. I just need to get the energy to do it. You know what I mean? I need to get that energy, because sometimes simple tasks feel like climbing a flipping mountain. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And yeah, so before, like, I had to really change how I thought about why I don't do these things, or blah blah, or even just like the guilt around it. So if someone is like, do this thing, and it's like, I know, I can see that there's dishes in there. I know I'm going to do it. Just give me the time to do it.
But it seems like it's triggering.
Yeah, because I already know, we can see you and I are looking at the same thing. You and I both know that I'm going to do the dishes, but just because I'm not doing them in your time frame, don't push me to do them in your time frame, because then it's like I already know those dishes are in there. It's not like I'm walking past them like I can't see them. I can see them as you can.
But I don't. Okay, my thing is that's that. What's reality is reality. So the dishes are in the sink.
Yeah.
That's not, you don't argue against that. But
Yeah.
if you know you're going to get them done, or you know you have a time frame to do them, why don't you just, you don't need to, is it because you're being harsh on yourself mentally inside, and then
Yeah.
you think like,
And then someone outside is just, oh, it's like, I
I
know,
know,
I
you know,
know.
you shut it now. See,
No,
that's the
but
reaction.
no, no,
That's
no,
the
no.
reaction.
I'm just saying, like, no,
Emotions
no,
are
no. But
coming
I'm not.
back.
I don't feel like, no, no. The emotions are not coming up. But it's just like, I know, I see what you're seeing, and even what you're seeing is a lot less than what is actually happening
Yeah.
for the dishes to
But
be
if you
done.
know your truth, why do you need to react like that?
Hmm?
If you know your
It's
truth.
frustration, but then now I don't, like you said, I don't do it so much now. But
Yeah, now you don't do it so much. But I didn't. Okay,
it's
so you just dropped a
frustration.
bomb then. So do you have ADHD? I feel like our listeners need to know.
Yeah.
You just made a comment, but we need to dig into it.
I haven't been I haven't been formally diagnosed, but since sort of adapting that framework and really just accepting the fact that my brain works differently to the average brain, has given me space to be kinder to myself,
Mm.
and to also develop like mechanisms that help me be, I don't want to use the word productive because I don't like the implications of that, but have made me be more, I don't know what other word, I don't know what the synonym for, have made me be able to show up for myself in very helpful ways. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I think that's quite fair. I think that's quite fair, because sometimes I think we don't we don't always acknowledge that brains don't work the same, and sometimes we try to make our brains work the way other people's brains do,
Yeah.
and that puts extra strain on our brains, and then you start to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure, but then it's just because your brain doesn't work like everyone else does.
And yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. That is okay, actually.
Yeah.
The earlier people start getting taught things like that, then people can accept the way in which they maybe react to things, or in which maybe learn things as well. Because people can get frustrated when you're sat in a classroom and you think you pick up things in the same way as all the 30 other children in the classroom, but your brain might work differently. So you might pick up things at a slower pace, or even really quickly, actually. And then you can get frustrated that everybody else isn't learning things. So I think that also applies in the classroom sense as well, and life sense.
It's basically that leaves a lot of space to like act out.
Yeah.
You know, you act out. You act out. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about? Are we doing a bite-sized one today?
Bite size, is that like on BBC?
Bite-sized means somebody small and cute.
Somebody small and cute.
Yeah.
That feels a bit derogatory, doesn't it?
Bite-sized.
Bite size. I just think of BBC learning site. Bite size. Okay, I wanted to talk about love because I want to make it really quite short and simple and stuff. I want to talk about the different ways that love exists. I want to talk about like I also want to talk about the differences between like heterosexual love and like queer love, in the sense that sometimes it feels like it's easier to navigate. I mean, to even get into like. Okay, no, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Tell me, speak to me, baby.
Speak to
Speak to
me. Okay, tell me something about love.
About love. Love is a doing word.
Expand.
Love is something you do, you choose to do. It is not something magic or feeling.
It's not pretty words.
It's just something you choose to do. You choose to love people around you, even your fam. Yeah, that could be a romantic relationship, platonic relationship, familial relationship.
All sorts.
Yeah, you have to choose to love people because people constantly let you down or act in ways that you wouldn't want them to, but you still have to choose to love somebody.
Do you think you're romantic? I don't mean that in like just in like I don't mean like Have you ever heard of the romanticism and stuff? That kind of concept.
No.
I don't know how to explain it in like short words.
Use it in long words.
Okay, so basically, romanticism in literature is like, you know, when writers talk about like the setting sun and they romanticize everything, like everything's like the potential for the romantic in the mundane is really heightened.
Right.
So that's what I mean.
Do I think I'm romantic? I don't know if I can answer it in relation to your explanation.
I think I am. I love love. I love love. Oh my gosh, I flipping love love. I think it's beautiful, you know.
Do you know how to love?
Yeah, and I think that it's something that you can always constantly be learning on. Because I mean, even in the sense of like in nature, I love just watching and experiencing and being a part of it, you know. In when I'm seeing people, I love seeing like mothers and their babies and like witnessing a moment where there's like a tender moment where the mom and the baby are in their own little world and they just there's so much love. I love it. And then also like old people are flipping. I love love. I love love.
Have you felt loved all throughout your life?
Throughout your life. All right, Dr. Phil. I think I'm learning different ways of loving self. I'm learning different ways of loving others. And I think within that learning, I'm learning that the way that I love myself is the bare minimum bar of what I expect someone who's going to try to come into my life to try to say that I want to love you. Like that, yeah, the love that I show myself is like the bar. Because if you're going to come in, I need to learn how to love myself through you. You know what I mean? Like, as in, you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean through you?
Okay, so basically, if you're going to come in and say that I want to love you, whether it be romantic or whatever, like, I must learn, your loving of me must teach me ways of loving me, because then you should help me see things within me that I'm not able to see or love. Like, you should be my blind spot, like my mirror to see the blind spot. And so through your love, I should discover more ways of loving me. But then it obviously
Doesn't
doesn't
that
just
put
go
that
one way.
expectation on that other person?
Not necessarily. Not
to
necessarily.
say that you're providing me something that I can't give myself, so it means that there's room for them to let you down if they don't do that.
No. Not necessarily. Not in a way that's like expectant or in a thing, but just what I give to myself. You can't come in and say I give you less than what you're giving yourself.
Right.
Right? Like, you have to give me a bit more for me to be like, it's not expectation. It's not expectation. It's just that this is how I want to be loved. And this is how I understand love. Like, this is come in and show me something new. Because I want to come in and show you something new about yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just come in and be like a headache, because that's when people become like headaches, and that's when things become taxing. Because things become a lot more taxing if like the bar is set. If someone's coming in lower than what you're able to show yourself. Because I am very
Have you
romantic to
experienced
myself.
that?
What, like someone lower, like, coming in and the bar lower?
Yeah.
Huh?
We're about honesty here. Yes, guys, you're listening to the most
Oh
honest
my
podcast
gosh.
in the world. So have you experienced that?
Yes. But yes.
Oh, do that again. That was sexy, guys.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
ASMR. Yes.
I think that's what you need to start adding to YouTube. Use this mic to make ASMR. Oh my
gosh. Where would I even start? Whoa, what am I gonna say?
Just keep saying yes. 10 minutes.
Have you seen those videos where it's like
What is it?
those videos on YouTube where it's just like basically someone sighing for like 10 hours?
What? No way. How do you get into that part of YouTube?
The rabbit holes of YouTube.
Oh my
Jesus
gosh,
Christ.
that sounds so weird.
There's just such weird. I think this is why I love the internet. It's so weird. It's so flipping weird.
It opens up a whole new world.
A whole new world. Everything, even things that you've never thought of, someone has thought of on the internet, and it's there.
Do you love being loved?
I love being loved, but I love being loved correctly. I love being loved in healthy ways. I love being loved in ways that
feel like your
help me feel
family
expansive.
Make you feel like that? Do you feel like your family make you feel like that?
Yeah. Okay. So I think about love a lot, and I think about love in the context of family a lot, and I think that what I've really been appreciating is just like, I think boundaries in love are so necessary in order to feel all of that. Because, I think that as long as you've got boundaries, your family can love. You can get so much love from your family, especially when you lose the expectations and you lose, like, when you see them as people, as like heavily flawed people with their own shit. Then you can really lose yourself in that love. Like, in a healthy way, anyway. Yeah.
When you stop seeing that your family members, how they relate to you, you see them outside of that title of mother, sister, auntie, granddad, or something.
Yeah.
You see them, people with their own identities outside of that. Yes.
What are your reflections of love? Have you been loved correctly?
Have I been loved correctly? I don't know.
The most honest podcast.
Have I been loved correctly? That's a question that needs reflection.
How do you love others in ways that feel fulfilling to you?
I guess just like trying to show up for people and just showing up for people and being there for people without trying to impose anything on them, what my beliefs are or how I think. I think that's how I know how to love people, because outside of that, I don't want to love someone in the way I want to be loved, because not everybody wants to be loved in that way. So I think that way that I try to love others, just being there and making people feel like they're heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, I've had a few people say to me like, "Oh, you remembered that, or that what I told you about a few weeks ago," and it's like, that's the bare minimum, like just listening to what you have to say, and but not trying to give advice or interjecting all the time. It's like just being there for people and being fully present when with people, which can be hard, can be difficult, and I'm not 100% good at it, but it's just nice to listen to people and make them feel that they matter. That's it. That's it. Because then it's like, you don't want, for example, the way I want to be loved is not the way a lot of other people want to be loved, and I don't know how else to love outside of being there for people. So I think it's something that you learn how to love, and something that you become more aware of, to say that you want to make a conscious effort to make somebody feel loved rather than just existing alongside them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, some people might not know that I love them, but I do. But I love everybody. I love everything equally. But maybe some people more intensely than others, but it's still an equal love. Just the intensity varies.
From what you're saying, like, I think from what you're saying, there's a lot of things that I'm like really, I really hear, and I think just this idea of like the open-endedness of love. You know what I mean? It's not. It's honestly the word concave, but I think it's just because the word concave is in my head. But it's just, it's ever blossoming. It's ever, there's always potential to discover more in love, right? And are you familiar with Sun Ra? Have you ever heard of Sun Ra? Sun Ra is like this jazz musician. He's amazing. It's like celestial. It's just
Is he still alive?
No, R.I.P.
Oh, okay.
R.I.P. Sun Ra and the Orchestra. But basically, he has an album called Love Is More Than God. No, God Is More Than Love Can Be, blah, blah, blah. And like, I think love can be as vast and as like boundless as our idea of God.
Do you think they're one and the same?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because both of them can be exploited. Both of them can be like used against you and I know that that's very, I'm going to the negative things, but I think that we also have to acknowledge that love can be used against people, and people can fall victim to love, or at least the idea of love, you know, because even like, yeah, because people, you know what you're saying about like hearing and seeing people, where a lot of people don't experience that, the minute even a crumb of that is given to them, I think that they can lose themselves, not in a good way, because I think you can lose yourself in a beautiful way in love, but then you can also lose yourself in a really like not nice way in love, you know. And when someone gives a crumb of being seen and being heard, people, this is how code starts, I think. Because then they pretend that they can see you, they pretend that they can hear you because they're using this psychobabble. And then you end up giving up your whole being to these entities. Yeah. There's so many possibilities in love, and I think that's...
Yeah, I feel like as a starter of this, there's so many ways we can take it, and I think as we started the conversation, there's so many questions that I've asked you that I would like to cover in our next speech podcast episode. But love is boundless. Like
love is you.
Love
Oh, is you.
Do you know one thing I get bored of is like music these days only sings about one type of love, and that's romantic love. Only a lot of music focuses on that, and I really try to listen to artists who can speak much about much more than just love or sex or something. But there's different types of loving and types of love than just romantic love.
One of my best, longest love relationships is my relationship with my mate. I'm not gonna call you my busy mate just in case your head gets big. I think that we have such a beautiful relationship.
Is she your soulmate?
I think so.
Twin flame.
I think she's my soulmate. She sat there like, oh no, I don't think you are. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? No, but I love her in a very sincere way. I love her in a very, like, I mean, of course I love everyone in that way, but like you were saying, that intensity is a bit different. Like I want nothing but the world for her. I mean, of course I want nothing but the world for all of you, but yeah.
You feel it for her.
No, I mean I feel it for all of you, but just the intensity is a bit more different for everybody. Different. Yeah, like I think for everyone that I love, and I think this is why I can't be monogamous. For everyone that I love, I want them to experience the most life affirming everything, like I want them to experience the best of what life can give to them. I want them to have the best. I want them to be, because I think from watching, I want them to be loved right by the right people. Like I want the people to know what they're loving, because I think a lot of times people go with people who don't actually understand their true worth. And I always go back to this idea, like when you give a ruby to someone who has no idea about like gems amongst like those fake like gems and stuff, they're not gonna be able to like really understand the true value of that. You know what I mean? And I want all the people that I love to be handled by the people who are able to really understand the magic that is before them, like the vast beauty, the vast everything that's before them, and I want nothing less for them.
Do you want that for yourself as well?
Of course. But I think that I think that just being aware that is possible and that is a thing, it makes me experience it more.
You give with your simile. It's really powerful.
Call me Shakespeare.
It's really powerful. It's really powerful. I think you have a way with words.
I just think that we all have like our bodies, and I think I just don't want people to be seen for their bodies. I want people to understand that there's galaxies within you. There's like, you're just a tip of a bloody iceberg. Like, don't settle for someone being like, oh, you're so hot, you're so sexy, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, seek someone that sees the fire within you. Seek someone that sees and appreciates and understands all the multiplicities within you, and stop moving that because it's going to be sounding on the thing.
No, and then that's the thing as well. It goes to say that nobody can see that in you if you're not willing to be vulnerable with the other person. So it's like, yeah, you give a little bit of yourself, then they can take.
Wearing your heart on your sleeve. Because I think a lot of people like hide away from like vulnerability because of like shame and stuff like that. I think I'm working really hard to walk away from shame. To move away from a framework of like shame. Because I don't think that there's anything that we have to be ashamed of, because everything, all the situations that we find ourselves have potential to be like learning, whether it's for ourselves or for others. But I just think that if we're to move positively forward, or if we're to move in a way that's helpful for all of us, we just need to say, okay, this thing happened. This is what I learned from it, and this is how I'm going to move forward, without personifying any of it and being like, that's tainted me, that's like put a mark on me.
Part of your identity.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, because I think once you really understanding that this body is just a flipping vessel has freed me in so many ways.
You would really like this artist. He sings about vessels, and he sings about oil and water. A lot of topics that we've actually covered on. Yeah, he's really good artist. I can't remember. I'll send it to you today.
What kind of music is it?
It's like I don't know what the genre is called.
World.
I don't know what the genre is called. It's like a mix between, I guess, pop, R&B, something.
Moses Sumney.
No.
I love Moses.
He's
Moses,
like British.
I love you.
He's like British artist. Yeah, we can actually put it as a link to this episode.
Oh yeah, British artist.
Yeah, British artist.
Riley Ritchie.
No.
I love him too.
He's like Zimbabwean British.
Quite.
No, I can't remember his name. I can just see his face, but I can't remember his name.
Describe his face.
He's like got a long, slim face. It's quite skinny.
Okay, what's your favorite love song?
My favorite love song. Falling for You, 80s song. I can't remember who sings it.
Falling into you.
No, because I'm falling for you.
I'm thinking Celine Dion.
No,
I'm saying I'm thinking Celine Dion. But
for you?
No. The falling into you that you're.
Yeah. What is it? It's falling. And I'm falling for you. I'm gonna play it for you later.
Okay.
What's your favorite?
Gregory Porter's "If Love Is Overrated." Oh my god.
Oh my gosh! I feel like he's either got tickets coming to this country or he's already been here. Or something.
I love that song.
Would you like that for your birthday to go see Gregory
Porter? Maybe not to go see him.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Why do I have to say why? Why do I have to say maybe why? You've said would I like that, and I've said no.
Why wouldn't you like it? That's just a question.
Because I wouldn't.
Yeah, but why? You have to have a why. You have to know your why.
The why is the most important.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you not want to see him?
Because I know like 5 songs.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. To me, I want to be able to sing along to the whole thing.
That's your birthday present.
Oh my gosh! Just give me the money, I'll buy.
What the hell? And with that, guys, that's our wrap. Thank you so much for listening to this episode.
It was nice recording together, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's different.
Face to face.
All right, bye. Peace.